Did my ship sink? I don't know. I don't know. No, honestly, I really do think Gajeel is still alive. I mean, it's fairy tale, right? I mean, Gajeel and Levy deserve a happy ending, but it has been foreshadowed. Remember when Levy was like getting a little hesitant? Gajeel's like, "Oh, you're under arrest." Like, it's been foreshadowed that something major was going to happen. Is Gajeel dead? I don't think so. But, I mean, if this is it, man, if my ship just sank like that, like, I'm so heartbroken because I'm a man. I love me some romance. I'm a sucker for romance. What can I say? When it came to this couple, the first time I saw them was in the anime. I mean, it wasn't, I read the manga, but it was in the anime, is where I really liked it. And it was when Gajeel was in a different guild. He was in a different guild, and then he started, a ruckus. He started terrorizing the Fairy Tale Guild, and he messed up Levy, man. He had her on, I think it was on a tree or whatever. It's been a while. And that was the first interaction, really. It was him, like, kicking Levy's ass, honestly, and her boys. But then along the lines, somewhere around there, they formed a friendship, and then she was scared of him at first, but then she kind of really got to know him, and shoo-ba-boo-ba-boo, fucking Gajeel. I mean, you could just tell, and especially when they tease on it on OVAs and all that stuff, that Levy was just like falling for Gajeel hard, especially in the exams and when they teamed up, and he's calling her pipsqueak and stuff, but he said, like, if anybody messes with you, I'll mess them up. Levy's tiny, and Gajeel, he's that dragon. He's that big dude who loves his iron. What can I say? But they work so well together. As well. So as I was watching the anime, and as I was watching a lot of moments from the manga as well, and then you had moments. Like, you had the OVAs, you had those funny moments. You had the Erisa moments when remember when she was a nurse and Levy was getting jealous. You had, the dancing moment when Gajeel was dancing with Levy. Levy's like, oh, yeah, And Gajeel's like, okay, if you insist, I'll dance with you. You had the OVA when they're at the little theme park. he was holding her tight. And Levy's like, oh, and then looks up to him, and he's like about to puke because they're sliding down the water slide. I mean, so many moments, and I think the biggest moment too was when Levy really just kissed him. She didn't really kiss him. Like, she kissed him but give him air when he was battling undersea, and that was a big moment. That was a very big moment. And then when we got the time skip, they were still together. They were still cooperating with each other. They were still very much together. And then, of course, the foreshadowing where he says, you're not allowed to be pathetic, I'm arresting you. And then this chapter, like, it's unbelievable how far we've come from Levy and Gajeel. And it's so natural. I mean, this is why I like this couple than any of the other couples in Fairy Tail, is because this is the most naturally built upon and just natural couple that just came together. It was like all relationships, it seems to be, you hate the person, but then you absolutely just fall in love with them. You just realize, like, that's the person that I want to be with. So Levy and Gajeel, like, Gajeel was already my favorite character in Fairy Tail, and it sucks to know that maybe he is dead. Like, if he's dead, and like, oh my god, I'm never gonna read Fairy Tail. I'm just kidding. Natsu's pretty awesome too. But I love Levy too, because how pipsqueak she is, how tiny she is, and how that chemistry, the Gajeel and Levy thing, there's so much chemistry in this couple. I mean, it's crazy how little time. It's like Naruhina. They got little time in the manga, but yet when they were together, it worked. It clicked. There was chemistry. There was something special there. With Gajeel and Levy, they clicked. There was something there. They're always together, and you just didn't want to see them apart. So, I mean, I absolutely love this couple, and that last chapter just really just kind of just took my heart out, and just the way Levy was. Levy was crying, and she was bawling her eyes out, just trying to save Gajeel. Gajeel refusing, telling her to stay back, and finally disappearing. And Lily just bawling his eyes out, but Levy just screaming on top of her lungs. That, hands down, is probably my favorite chapter of Fairy Tail. Just how much emotion there was, and it was crazy. It was only half the chapter. but it really was very impactful because, I mean, it's of course it's not a crazy death. I think we're all kind of feeling that it was a lot of foreshadowing that this might happen, like something was going to happen in this case, but it still hit me pretty hard because of the fact that I love Gajeel as a character, and I love Levy, and I love these two together, and I just don't see any way, I don't see, it's hard, man, it's hard. It kind of harkens back to Trigon, honestly, Woodward, can't say his name right, when he died in the church, like it kind of harkens back to that a little bit. I don't think that Gajeel is dead though. I really do think he'll come back. But one of the panels that really got me was the fact that he did envision a future, and I think we all envision a future with our loved ones, and kids, house, maybe something different. People don't always have the same vision, but just him and having like it looked like a little Natsu, honestly, but he had a little boy and a little girl, and he had Levy right there, and oh man, it sucks, man. It really does sucks to know. There's been a couple pairings where that kind of went kapoo, but I didn't really bat an eye. I'm like, okay. I wasn't really too invested in it, but life goes on. I mean, the only pairings that I really wanted in life was, in anime-wise, is Tenchi and Ryoko, and Naruhina. Oh, and Raku and Shirige. Raku and Shirige would be awesome as well. But this was one of the couples that I really, really loved in anime, and I thought because it was so natural, and it really lightened up my spirits every time I read a manga chapter. I mean, if you go back and you read the chapter I was reading with, knowing that those two were together still after the time skip, I was like, these two, man, these still at it. Just get on with it already. Let's get it on. But knowing the fact that this chapter was crazy, man. I mean, I got to give it hats off. I mean, this chapter was really got to me. Like, I didn't cry or anything like that. It's just, it really got to me knowing the fact that, man, I love these two together, and there's always a possibility that they're never going to bring this character back. So Gajeel might never come back, and if that happens, then oh man, that sucks. But I really do think he's going to come back. I don't think he's dead, because you don't know us. You don't, just because he disappeared and all that shit, the dude's gonna get stabbed. The dude needs to get stabbed. Like, you need official death. Like, you need to see the body. You need Gohan, future Trunks kind of death and that stuff. But I love it. So thank you guys for listening. I just wanted to touch upon the Gajeel and Levy and where I'm at on that. I love the couple. It's one of my top couples. I just think it works. It's technically, this was a confession chapter and a confirmation chapter of them actually finally realizing that they love each other. Well, I think they knew all along, but us the readers were like, finally, goddamn. But bittersweet, of course. But I do think Gajeel is still alive. I do think we're gonna see him again. I do think that this is gonna be a happy ending. But if not, it was a great ride. I love these two together, and it's sad to see Gajeel go. So thank you guys for listening. If you haven't already, hit that subscribe button. Would really appreciate it. Check out all my other videos. Like the video if you like it. Comment below. Love to hear your guys' thoughts on Gajeel and Levy. I'm sad, man. I'm sad. I really love this couple. So peace.